like to call to order the Milan Area Schools Board of Education regular meeting for Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you to everyone attending this evening. It's very exciting to see a full boardroom to celebrate some things this evening. So just a few housekeeping items before we begin. All board members are present except for Mr. Farrow is excused, and then student board member Maya Farrow is also excused. So with that, we are going to start with some board recognitions. And we are going to start with the 2023-2024 MHS Varsity Girls Swimming and Diving Team. So if Coach Heike and Coach Frames could come up with their team, and you guys can just stand in front of us. We've got a resolution to read and also to hand out to you folks. So I'll give this to you, Coach. And then each of you girls can have one of these to put in your scrapbook. So go ahead and pass on down one of those. So I'm going to start with reading the resolution, and then Coach Heike and they can introduce themselves or who's here, and then we'll go from there. So, whereas the 2023-2024 Milan High School Girls Swimming and Diving Team completed its regular season with a 14-1 record, and whereas the team won the Monroe County Championship for the third consecutive year, and whereas the team distinguished itself by winning the Huron League Championship for the 24th straight year, with a 5-0 league dual meet record and winning the championship meet while earning 16 All-Huron League honors, and the team further distinguished itself by placing fourth in the state, and whereas Krista Cook, Mary Kate Wayne, Kiera Lures, Annabelle Williams, Cam Stripp, Megan McChesney, Lila McKenna, Hannah Brady, Sarah Mitchell, and Layla Nemeth were honored as All-Huron League, and whereas Kiera Lures, Annabelle Williams, Mary Kate Wayne, Cam Stripp, and Lila McKenna were all state. And whereas the team, this is the most important, the team had an average GPA of 3.5, and Layla Nemeth, Krista Cook, Kiera Lures, Annabelle Williams, and Cam Stripp were all honored as all academic in the Huron League, and Kiera Lures, Annabelle Williams, and Cam Stripp were academic all state. And whereas head coach Dan Heike, assistant coaches Carrie Frame, Emma Frame, and Emily Hoke, and all members of the 2023 Girls Swimming and Diving Team have exhibited great sacrifice and dedication to make these accomplishments possible. Now therefore be it resolved that the Milan Area Schools Board of Education commends coaches Dan Heike, Carrie Frame, Emma Frame, and Emily Hoke, and the entire 2023-2024 Milan High School Girls Swimming and Diving Team for their accomplishments, and that we sincerely thank them for the honor and pride they have brought to themselves, their school, and the community. So if coaches want to say a few things and introduce who's here.
Sure. First I want to thank our administration, Mr. Hall, certainly the school board, Mr. Shin, just everybody that supports us, all of the people in the community. Especially, I need to thank the team and certainly the coaches. I certainly don't do this alone. Emily Holke's not here. She started school up at Michigan Tech this winter. But we have Emma Frame and Carrie Frame on the end. Move out, make sure I can see everybody. Kiera Lures, Sarah Mitchell, Hannah Brady, Hallie Thornton, Krista Cook, Layla Nemeth, Cam Stripp. Annabelle Williams, Sarah Monroe, Megan McChesney, Peyton Bergstrom, and Zariah Blackwood. So thank you very much, and I also want to congratulate, because I know they're about to come up, the volleyball team on an incredible year. So congratulations.
All right, so I need a motion to commend the 2023-2024 MHS Varsity Girls Swimming and Diving Team and their coaches for all their accomplishments this year.
Motion by
Heike.
Rosen Leecher.
I
This
heard
one's
Heike
mine.
first.
Oh,
She has a tradition of making this motion.
It's been moved by Heike and supported by Rosen Leecher to commend the 2023-2024 MHS varsity girls swimming and diving team and their coaches for all their accomplishments this year. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Heike?
Murray,
yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleecher,
Yes.
Sislo,
Yes.
Farrow.
Absent.
Oh, that's right. Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heike, yes. Motion carries 6-0.
Congratulations, ladies. All right. The volleyball team, most of the volleyball team is here. Some are en route from a soccer game, so we're going to wait for the rest of them to come. So we're going to move on to our next recognition. So this is for our paraprofessional appreciation, and I would like Ms. Durkee to come on up and accept this on behalf of the paraprofessionals. So, and here, you can take these for your friends.
All right, thank you.
You get the frame.
So, I will just, before I read this, I want to thank Ms. Durkee for attending these meetings, attending our Big Red Board Chat. Her voice, we appreciate her bringing her voice to these meetings. So with that, I'm going to read a resolution. Milan Area Schools recognizes April 3rd, 2024 as Paraprofessional Appreciation Day. Whereas paraprofessionals are essential to the mission of our district and the success of our students, and whereas paraprofessionals provide a variety of services and supports to help our students achieve success, and whereas paraprofessionals collaborate with teachers and other district staff to provide a quality educational experience for all students, and whereas paraprofessionals provide essential services within our schools, including support for instruction in the most inclusive setting, assistance with the social and daily care needs of individual students, numerous other tasks that contribute to educational success, and whereas the support and services provided by paraprofessionals are integral to student achievement, resulting in better, more effective schools where students are welcome and safe. And whereas Milan Area Schools is committed to excellence in education and recognizes the important role paraprofessionals play in ensuring educational success. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby extends its appreciation to all Milan Area Schools paraprofessionals for supporting the education of our students, and be it further resolved that the Milan Area Schools Board of Education strongly encourages all members of our community to join with us in personally expressing appreciation to our paraprofessionals for their dedication and devotion to their work. I won't make you talk. But sincerely, we appreciate the work of our paraprofessionals. So, I need a motion to thank the paraprofessionals of the Milan Area Schools as recorded in Attachment C.
Motion by Rosen Leecher.
Support by Murray.
So moved and supported to thank the paraprofessionals of Milan Area Schools as recorded in Attachment C. Is there other further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Heike?
Rosenleecher,
Yes.
Sislo,
Yes.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heike, yes. Murray,
Yes.
Pryor.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Excellent. All right, like I said, once the rest of the team arrives, we'll fit you guys in, so we'll make it work. And if you guys need to leave for any reason, feel free. I just want to make sure that everybody has signed in, so that we do make sure that we record your attendance, so. Next up on the meeting is communications and community engagement. Time for public comment. A reminder, this meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business. It's not to be considered a public meeting. There are 2 times for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. When addressing the board, you'll be asked to state your name. The board determines the amount of time granted to individuals or groups to speak. Each person shall be allowed to speak for up to 3 minutes. Board members may question speakers but are not obligated to answer questions or make statements or commitments in response to issues raised by the public. In general, such items will be referred to the superintendent for advisement, investigation, study, and/or recommendation, or designated as future agenda items for board consideration. Are there any students who would like to address the board? Are there any public members who'd like to address the board? All right. Next on to routine matters for approval. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 13th, 2024.
Motion by Pryor. Support by Gutierrez.
So moved and supported to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 13th, 2024. Is there any discussion? It's been moved and supported to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 13th, 2024. Ms. Heika?
Sislo,
Yes.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heika, yes. Murray,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Next up, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting closed session of March 13th, 2024.
Moved by Gutierrez.
Support by Murray.
So moved and supported to approve the minutes of the regular meeting closed session of March 13th, 2024. Just a reminder, these are the ones that are in the envelope in front of you. Are there any concerns? It's been moved and supported to approve the minutes of the regular meeting closed session of March 13th, 2024. Ms. Heika?
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heika, yes. Murray,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher,
Yes.
Sislo.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, next up, I need a motion to approve the bills and reimbursement of expenses.
Moved by Heika.
Support by Rosenleacher.
It's been moved and supported to approve the bills and reimbursement of expenses. Is there any discussion? I will report that Mr. Farrow did ask Ms. Hendricks questions in regards to these, and they were satisfactorily answered, so there was no issues with the questions he had. Ms. Heika?
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heika, yes. Murray,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher,
Yes.
Sislo.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, next up in the area of academics and programs, I need a motion to approve the adult and community education graduates as listed in attachment D, contingent upon their completion of all graduation requirements.
Moved by Heika.
Support by Pryor.
It's been moved and supported to approve the adult and community education graduates as listed in attachment D, contingent upon their completion of all graduation requirements. Is there any discussion? Just so everybody is aware, their graduation is going to be May 28th. I believe that's a Tuesday. Connie, Ms. Cox invited the board to attend. So those of you that are able to attend, I would ask you to attend that if possible. We do also, that's an evening that we had our Big Red Board Chats scheduled, so we are going to be moving that to a date to be determined. We will figure that date out and communicate that date as we go. So definitely appreciate all the work that Ms. Cox and the Adult and Community Education Department do for these graduates, and we want to recognize them. They always put on a lovely ceremony for their graduates.
One other reminder?
Yeah.
It's here.
Oh.
Remember, that program is now at the high school,
that's
no longer
right.
at the middle school. So graduation will be here. Mr. Shin, I think the theater, I know they checked, they might not have checked with you, they might have checked with Mr. Hull to make sure it was available, but I know it's here. I'll get you the exact location. I think it's the theater. But don't drive to the middle school.
All right, so it's been moved and supported to approve the adult community education graduates as listed in attachment D, contingent upon their completion of all graduation requirements. Ms. Heika?
Heika, yes. Murray,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher,
Yes.
Sislo,
Yes.
Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, next up, I need a motion to approve the agricultural mechanics course as detailed in attachment E.
Moved by Murray.
Support by Gutierrez.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agricultural mechanics course as detailed in attachment E. Mr. Gearbaugh, Mr. McMahon, Mr. McMahon.
Yep, thanks for the time. So we're bringing to you a new class, that's a board policy, for you to approve a new course before it gets added to the course guide, which you then approve the guide later in the year. This new opportunity is called Ag Mechanics. It's a specialized course for our CTE program in conjunction with the barn you see being built out back. Mr. Shin showed up today. He's going to help us give us some details of it. He and Mr. Federer have been working really hard on creating this opportunity for kids. We've had a lot of conversations, Mr. Shin and I, in the admin team in general, about creating more advanced opportunities for all students, all groups of students. And this course is pushing towards that for a certain type of students that are going to benefit from this. And we're really excited about the opportunity. So, Mr. Shin, you want to provide some details. He's just going to kind of cover some of the stuff you see in the
Yep,
handout.
you have the nitty-gritty and all the details for the form itself, but just a couple of outstanding things that come through this program. One, it's teacher-led. That's one of the best pieces as a principal is when teachers already has 5 or 6 preps is asking for more work to do. It's really neat. No cost to the district. We're not adding additional staff to run this programming. In fact, it'll help save some money. These will be additional completers within the CTE programming, which is really neat to have. It's come together quite quickly, a little quicker than we thought. Between GMACF and 2 other grants, we've been able to raise over $150,000 this year at no cost to the district. So we're able to get radiant heating in that building, and really without the building being ready, this program going to be there. So a little bit quicker than we thought, which is really neat. Continuing the process of the high school reinventing ourselves and looking at that career-based CTE component that our students have access to, so they're not always having to travel outside of our own district to take part in those and move forward. But the key component for agricultural mechanics will be small engine repair and some of those other things there with some competitions, but it'll also allow us to have more opportunities for our students to maybe do some more work-based learning. For example, we have the students in our early childhood. We have our students working in the bus garage. We do have a couple students now in our own tech department helping to repair our own computers. So some of more of those hands-on things that we've talked about with our strategic plan and really neat. So that'll get in place next year with 8 to 10 students. No real cost to the district there. There's always costs, but exciting opportunity for Mr. Federer and our Ag Science program. So fulfilling those promises to use our resources wisely. Were there any questions in general? But
I don't have any questions. I just want to thank Mr. Federer and yourself for bringing this forward. Milan High School has a proud tradition of ag education, and we're excited to continue the FFA program. It's the longest continuous FFA program in the state of Michigan. I
It's
think
the only one that's existed since they could exist.
so. It's a very proud tradition. As a Milan student that came from farmers, I sincerely appreciate that. And I know the townships that support that endeavor as well.
well, we appreciate the board support too. We're one of the few districts that's adding CTE programming and specific to Ag Science related. So we appreciate that as we move forward. Thank you.
One additional piece of information, we actually had one additional piece of information, we actually had our Southwest Washtenaw Consortium superintendent's meeting today. We actually hosted it here in this room. And this course is normally not offered until college level. So we are actually bringing something down that's normally recognized at the college level into our high school to help these students get a step up into a field that they are interested in.
Any other questions or comments?
I would just like to thank the GMACF for their support and Ryan for, always looking for that grant money, so thank you.
It's cool to see that barn out there. That's cool. So, all right. I have a motion that's been supported to approve the agricultural mechanics course as detailed in attachment E. Ms. Heike.
Murray,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher,
Yes.
Sislo,
Yes.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heike, yes. Motion carries 6-0.
All right. Next up in the strategic area of learning, environment, and culture, I need a motion to approve the Internal Revenue Code section, 127 plan as detailed in attachment F.
Motion by Pryor.
Support by Rosenleacher.
It's been moved and supported to approve the Internal Revenue Code section 127 plan as detailed in attachment F. Mr. Gearbaugh.
Yes. So we are bringing this to you tonight. It was kind of necessary to bring it to you because of a grant that the state of Michigan is offering to school districts to help assist staff members with paying off student loans. It was a grant that was just started this year. There are some very strict requirements on the program. It's Section 27K. I know you guys always like to know those line items. It's Section 27K. We just filled out the grant today. We sent messages out to all of the district and asked staff. There are some very specific qualifications. You have to be in the forgiveness program that's sponsored by the federal government. You have to be in an income related payment system, and you have to have made a certain number of payments. And basically, the state of Michigan will provide us up to $200 a month to help them make the payment that they have left to make each month. It's been a lot of work on Krista Hendricks's part, because basically the state said, hey, we want to do this. Here are the qualifications. You figure out how to make sure that everybody's qualified. We are not student loan experts. So Krista's done a lot of research. She's gone to a lot of conferences. She's done a lot of Zoom seminars. She's worked with our staff to figure out exactly who does and doesn't qualify. We're hoping that there is another round later, because what this did is, honestly, it spurred a lot of our staff to look at their loans and see if they were that type, and if not, turn them into that type. But they didn't get that done in time. So we're hoping that they start another cohort next year and we can get more people in. But in order to do that, Troon Law highly recommends that we have a policy that kind of protects us against certain things, taxability of it, if the program stops, because the state law is kind of interesting. It says they'll do it up to 10 years. So we don't want to promise our staff we'll do it for 10 years if then the grant dollars stop flowing in 2 years in. So that's a lot of what this short policy puts in place. This was written by Troon, so it will fit right with our other policies. And we just greatly appreciate you approving this so we can get those staff members that qualify in and start helping them pay their student loans.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Yeah, Ms. Gutierrez.
Mr. Gerba, forgive me if this was in the policy. I just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly. The state of Michigan will be giving the district money, which will turn around and give the staff members the resources to be able to make their payment and the amount of $200 a month?
Yes, correct. The state gives us the money through our state aid payment, and they don't give us $200 per monthly payment. We have to tell them what the monthly payments are for each individual. There's a big spreadsheet Ms. Hendricks had to fill out, and we had to prove that they met all the criteria, and then we have to put in what payments they've made. And then it's going to be one of those where we'll continue to fill that out after a certain number of months, and then they'll give us that money to give them, and it'll kind of be this back and forth, because some people's payments will change.
Right.
And so we have to report their monthly payments. So the grant that we turn in right now was to say, here are the people that we have had interested, that we have verified qualify, and here's the payments they've made since October to now, because
Right.
this is on the state's fiscal year.
Right.
And then we'll have to do, I don't know if they're going to do it every quarterly or how they're going to do it, but yes. So we're basically a flow-through
That's right.
for the grant.
Which I want to acknowledge is a considerable amount of effort that needs to be, and I appreciate, I mean, I think many of us can relate. We've heard in the news about student loans being really crippling to particularly people early in their career, and the amount of resources that requires. And so I appreciate the district taking a stance that they're willing to offer this type of support, this administrative support and this ongoing support to our staff to be able to offer this resource to them. I really appreciate it, because it's not just, oh, the state's giving us the money. Well, the state's giving us the money, and our administrative staff here in the district office are needing to manage that. So I sincerely appreciate it, as I'm sure that's of huge benefit to many of our staff members.
I will pass that thanks on to Krista. She's really been the leader in this one. And I will say there are districts that didn't do this because of the work it takes. And we just, any way we can help our staff, we're going to do that.
Any other questions or comments? All right, it's been moved and supported to approve the Internal Revenue Code Section 127 plan as detailed in Attachment F. Ms. Heika?
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher,
Yes.
Sislo,
Yes.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Heika, yes, Murray.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, next up, we come back to communications and community engagement. This is our second round of public comments. Are there any students who'd like to address the board? Are there any public members who'd like to address the board? All right. Next, we will move on to student board representative comments. Ms. Powell.
I wasn't done. It's okay though. I think I got the most of it done. first of all, I would like to congratulate both the girls swimming and the girls volleyball on your accomplishments this season on behalf of both me and Maya. We understand how hard you guys worked during your season and for your preseason. Those are huge accomplishments, and I know a lot of you are seniors, so those are amazing memories for you to make for your last season. Congratulations to both girls and boys varsity track and field on their win at the Huron League opener. Girls for taking the win 81-39 and boys 77-51. Saturday, April 13th is the Whiteford Bobcat Legacy Relay Invite at 9 a.m. at Whiteford Schools. Tuesday, April 16th versus Riverview at 4 p.m. Saturday, April 20th is the Jefferson Invite at Jefferson at 9 a.m. And Tuesday, April 23rd against Grosse Seal at Grosse Seal at 4 p.m. Boys varsity baseball, Thursday, April 11th versus Riverview at home at 4:30. Saturday, April 13th versus Canton, which is a doubleheader at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Monday, April 15th versus Grosse Seal at home at 4:30. Wednesday, April 17th versus Flat Rock at the Flat Rock Community Center at 4:30. Saturday, April 20th versus Trenton High School for a doubleheader at home at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Monday, April 22nd versus SMCC at home at 4:30. Boys golf, Monday, April 15th versus Summerfield High School at a location that is still to be determined at 3 p.m. And Tuesday, April 23rd versus Riverview at a location that is still to be determined at 3 p.m. Girls soccer had a game versus Jefferson today. How did that go? Okay. Well, congratulations on the win. Friday, April 12th versus Pinckney at Pinckney at 5:30. Monday, April 15th versus Riverview at 6 p.m. Wednesday, April 17th versus Flat Rock at home at 5. Saturday, April 20th versus Powers Catholic High School at Williamston High School at 10 a.m. West Catholic High School at 1:45 p.m. and Big Rapids at 3 p.m. Monday, April 22nd versus SMCC at home at 4:30. Girls softball, Thursday, April 11th versus Riverview at home at 4:30. Saturday, April 13th versus St. Ursula Academy for a doubleheader at 10 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Monday, April 15th versus Grosse Seal High School at Grosse Seal at 11:30. Wednesday, April 17th versus Flat Rock at home at 4:30. Saturday, April 20th versus Blissfield High School for the Blissfield High School tournament at Blissfield High School JV Field at 9 a.m. Monday, April 22nd versus SMCC at the SMCC Stone Cove Park at 4:30 p.m. And girls tennis, Thursday, April 11th against Brooklyn Columbia Central High School at the Columbia Central High School at 4 p.m. Saturday, April 13th is the Holt Rams Quad at Holt High School at 9 a.m. Tuesday, April 16th versus Riverview at home at 3 p.m. Thursday, April 18th versus Tecumseh at home at 4 p.m. Saturday, April 20th is the Vicksburg 8-team Pink Out tournament at Vicksburg High School at 9 a.m. And Tuesday, April 23rd versus New Boston Huron at Huron High School at 3 p.m. And that is all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Powell. All right, so we have our honored guests. Everybody's here now, right? All right, cool. So we will move back up to honoring the volleyball team. So if Coach Slack could come up, and we'll have all the girls line up in front of us here. I appreciate the swim team sticking around to help honor their other team. And I'll hand this to, and then make sure each one of you guys get one of those to.
Take the extras if there's anybody that's not here.
All right, I am going to offer the following resolution. Whereas the 2023-2024 Milan High School girls varsity volleyball team completed its regular season with an 8-2 record, with losses only going to one team, And whereas the team placed second in the Division I Belleville Invitational Varsity Tournament, and whereas the team was the first in Milan history to win a quarterfinal match and advance to the Final Four, and whereas Courtney Nye, Malia Werman, Madison Slack, Maria Steins, Lauren Paris, and Haley Knox were recognized as All-Huron League, and whereas the team placed first in the Milan Quad, and whereas Courtney Nye, Malia Werman, Madison Slack were recognized as All-Region athletes by the MIVCA Association, and whereas head coach McKenna Slack and assistant coaches Julie Mossberg, Luis Bata, is that right? And Kayla Leith dedicated many hours to the athletes' physical and mental strength to make a historic run. Now therefore be it resolved that the Milan Area School Board of Education commends that Coach McKenna Slack and assistant coaches Julie Mossberg, Luis Bata, and Kayla Leith in the 2023-2024 varsity girls volleyball team for their accomplishments, and that we sincerely thank them for the honor and pride they have brought to themselves, their school, and their community. So, if Coach Slack would like to say a few words.
Yeah, I would like to thank all of you
Sure.
for recognizing us today. And then I wanted to thank everybody that's here, because this year we felt a lot of love as a group. There was a lot of love within our group, but we felt a lot of love from the community, Mr. Shen, Mr. Hull, even Mr. Gearba. When we went on our last run, we felt like very recognized and very loved. So we just want to thank you all for that. I'm really proud of this group. Today with me I have Olivia Henry, Mariah Steins, Layla Fry, Emma Wallin, Lana Polke, Aubrey Higgins, Emma Budd, and Madison Slack.
Awesome.
And if you guys are good, thank you. You guys are good.
Yeah, you guys, yep, you good.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hold- Can you guys just wait just 1 minute? Just wait, let me get this, just a couple things before, I gotta, whoops, hit the microphone. I'm gonna read a resolution. If you did not sign in, make sure that everybody signs in on this backboard. Yeah, the kids, everybody that's it. Just before, sorry, I'm gonna yell at you now. Let me read this resolution, then after that resolution, feel free to sign, and then you all are excused. So we'll get through this resolution and we'll go from there. I need a motion to commend the 2023-2024 MHS Varsity Girls Volleyball Team and their coaches for all of their accomplishments this year.
Moved by Murray.
Support by Pryor.
It's been moved and supported to commend the 2023-2024 MHS Varsity Girls Volleyball Team and their coaches for all their accomplishments this year. Ms. Heika?
Pryor,
Yes.
Rosenleacher,
Yes.
Sislo,
Yes.
Yes.
Gutierrez, Heika, yes. Murray,
Yes.
motion carries 6-0.
Awesome. Thank you again for attending, and just again, make sure you sign in. We're very proud. Thank you for representing Milan.
Good job, ladies.
Oh, okay. We'll just take a short recess while they're, oh, no, I guess, okay, okay. We won't take a short recess. All right. Next up on the agenda is Assistant Superintendent comments, Mr. McMahon.
Thank you. I was hoping for a larger audience, but just a couple quick things today. Just a sort of a reminder and update on spring assessments. We're in full gear now. M-STEP preparations are almost nearly complete, but like a couple more students, 311 that we're trying to sort out. But that's underway. Yesterday, the PSAT at the 8th grade, went. We conducted it. It went great. And today, the SAT at the high school was administered, and that went as well. There were some hiccups, and I want to thank the staff for both the College Board assessments and the M-STEP assessments. The state of Michigan has not certified spring count yet, and they're going to do that after the assessment window opened. And what that means is essentially some kids that moved in here since the fall count are being counted in other districts. They were like, someone else's student in the fall, they're technically ours now, but until the state's certified. So we have to go in and manually push those kids through. And it caused a bit of a fiasco, but we got it sorted out, thankfully. Alice at Simons and Brad and Miss Bell at the middle school and Chris and Aaron here at the high school, they've been working really hard to get that sorted out. So we were scrambling last minute, but we literally were pushing things one night and got there at 8 in the morning. They're there. We're like, all right, we're good. So thanks to everybody, but we're rolling there. And then
Hold on a minute. Can you make sure that these doors are open? Because we're in an open meeting. Thank you. Just want to make sure. Yeah, you can open them. Yeah, I want to make sure people know. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you keeping my message out to the public.
Yeah.
And so then I also have a grant update, and it's just the 27K grant we just submitted, and that's the loan reimbursement grant. We got 5 teachers counted. I literally just submitted that today. Superintendent Gearbaugh and Ms. Hendricks, finance director, did a ton of work for that. I just really had to get in there and type it in and push it, so I appreciate that. And speaking of other people doing a ton of my work, Michelle had mentioned a thanks for the 2 grants, the ag grants to get that. I didn't do a lot of that. That was Mr. Shin and Mr. Federer, so they deserve all of that credit. I just pushed some buttons to make it work, but they did even finding those grants and getting them updated. So thanks to them, but I want to make sure that record stands corrected. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Mr. Gearbaugh, superintendent comments.
Thank you. Just to clarify, we were not the only district dealing with those issues. It was every district across the state of Michigan dealing with those issues with students not being certified in our count yet. So I appreciate all of the staff and all the work they did to get them claimed properly by us so that we could administer the tests. Just some announcements, and I know it's been a while since we had a meeting, so some of these are going to feel like they go way back, but I don't want to miss things. Congratulations to the cast and crew of Legally Blonde, the musical. I was able to go to the production. It was amazing. I attended the 1 p.m. matinee on Saturday, which was held in memory of Dennis McComb, our former superintendent. I was truly honored to be able to recognize Dennis and his contributions to the district. And I was also very honored, my wife and I were able to sit with Dennis's wife, Yvonne. All of their daughters were here, a lot of their grandkids were here. It was just really nice to do a little tribute to him in a theater that was named after him. The Milan Middle School production of The Little Mermaid Jr. is coming to the Dennis McComb Performing Arts Center at the high school. Shows are on Friday, April 19th at 7 p.m., Saturday, April 20th at 7 p.m., and Sunday, April 21st at 2 p.m. Please make sure to come out and support our students. I know that it will be an amazing production, as it always is. Both the Milan High School Concert and Milan High School Chamber Choirs earned excellent ratings on Wednesday, March 20th for their performances and music reading tests at the Michigan School Vocal Music Association District Choral Festival Assessment. That's a mouthful. Congratulations to our singers and to Mrs. Powell, our choir director. March 21st was a fun day here at Milan area schools. For those that remember, we had a lot of students and staff this year who participated in World Down Syndrome Day by rocking their socks. It really was a neat day. Even our resource officer had on cool socks. I mean, just everybody got involved, and it's really a nice way to honor and recognize those students as part of our school family. Couple of sad pieces of staff news. Caroline Vega, a former Milan Area Schools paraprofessional, unexpectedly passed away recently. I know that the Paddock staff had a card that they sent out to the family. We're always sad to lose any current or former staff members, so our thoughts go out to that family. Kirsty Hassler, who was our Simons Elementary Administrative Assistant, is now our Special Education Administrative Assistant, lost her mom on Thursday, March 21st. That's 4 deaths in her family since December. That's just a lot. And so please keep the Hassler family in your thoughts. I was honored to attend the City Council meeting on Tuesday, April 2nd, to observe the Milan Fire Department recognizing numerous people, including our own nurse Dawn Hines and PE teacher Vicki Etter, for their roles in the medical incident that involved Gino Shaw at the middle school. It was really pretty impressive. If you haven't been able to get out and see the video, or they recognized the entire team start to finish. And so it started with the students that recognized the student was down, and then it went to the staff that helped, and it went to the administrative assistant that made the 911 call, and the 911 dispatcher, and the EMS folks, and the voluntary fire department people. And I mean, they just went through the whole care team all the way through the staff at Mott Children's Hospital that took care of him. And it's amazing when you look at how many people were involved in that incident start to finish. It really just brought to light how blessed we are in this country with the medical services that we do have. So again, it was really nice to attend that. In front of you, board, from the Community Reads Project, you have the book A Rover Story. I know that a lot of our community members and students have already started the reading, but we were just able to get you your copies tonight. So please enjoy. And again, we thank the Milan Community Reads Project for getting those over to you. The Sexual and Reproductive Health Survey closed at 4 p.m. on Friday, March 15th. I was happy. We received 371 responses from the community. And if you remember, that survey kind of talks about where's the lowest grade where you think this topic should be taught. Where's the lowest grade? And that's kind of what the families fill out. The next step is that our Sex Education Advisory Board, which we have one of the members here tonight, will look over those responses and will determine whether there's any need to look at making any changes to our reproductive health curriculum. As you know, if we do decide to make any changes, those go through 2 presentations to the community. They come to the board for first reading and then approval. So it's not a minor process, but we want to make sure that our curriculum is what our community wants us teaching our students. I do have some updates for the Reimagining Milan Area Schools 2024, 2025, and beyond. First, the 5th grade classrooms at the middle school are painted, carpeted, technology is up, and they are ready to move in. Our teachers are going to do a little bit of decorating over there, I know, because we have a parent night and an open house coming up for those students that will be going over, and I think they're going to let them go down and see the rooms. They don't have furniture and stuff in them yet, because we're going to be moving the current 5th grade furniture over there. But they are ready to go so that we can start our moves very, very quickly in the summer. We have also purchased and will have 55 lockers installed in that hallway so that all of the 5th graders can have their lockers in the 5th grade hallway. We wanted to make sure that they didn't have to venture into another hallway to use their lockers. We have hired a professional moving company to help us move the 5th grade furniture and classroom items from Simons to the middle school, the 2nd grade from Paddock to Simons, and the infant toddler program from Simons to Paddock. We were lucky to find a company that came highly recommended by other districts in our county, and I was even more happy that the leader of the project for the moving company, his wife is actually an elementary teacher. So if anybody understands the importance of teacher materials and how to properly move them and take care of them, it's someone whose wife, he told me he's moved his wife's classroom 3 times. During her career, and so he will fully understand. And I will tell you, that I know that doesn't seem maybe important to you, but to our teachers, it was a huge relief to know that the moving company has moved schools before and understands the importance of their personal and classroom items. Our May 3rd Professional Development Day will be conducted with staff grouped according to their 24-25 building assignments. So we are excited that on that day, the teachers will go to the buildings where they'll be teaching next year so that they can start doing some meet and greets and some team building and start planning for 24-25. It's hard to believe, but we are already in that mode of planning for next school year. The last thing that we have done to help the moving go smoothly is we put out an email and we had several staff interested. Any staff that aren't working in the summer normally, we invited to be substitute custodians throughout the summer. And this can be anybody. It can be a teacher, it can be a parapro, anybody. Basically what they are going to do is after we move 5th grade from Simons to, after we move 5th grade from Simons to the middle school, those folks are gonna go in and really help us clean up and do a deep clean in those classrooms. Because remember, our custodians are busy waxing floors and doing all of their normal summer cleaning. So I am going to schedule a meeting soon. We had I think 10 to 15 people that said they were interested. And so we're going to do a little meeting and kind of tell them exactly what they're doing, make sure they're truly interested, and then we'll get it set up so that they can come in and help. And for some of them, earn a little bit of extra money in the summer when they're not normally employed by us. I do want to let everyone know that Milan Area Schools, along with several other districts in the county, recently signed a contract with Care Solace. It's a contract that was handled by the WISD on behalf of several districts. Care Solace provides mental health care coordination services for students, families, and staff within our district. Care Solace is a confidential service focused on removing barriers to access to accessing mental health care. This partnership will provide Milan Area Schools families and staff with access to Care Solace's care coordination services at no cost to them. More specifically, after a referral, and a parent could self-refer, a counselor or social worker could refer, Care Solace contacts the family, works with them to find a service provider that meets their needs, works with their insurance, is in the area for them to meet, might do online meetings if that's what they would prefer. It schedules their first appointment, and then it follows up with the family to make sure that that was a good fit, and if not, they help them find a different provider. We're really excited about this opportunity for our community. Communications with details about this will be going out to the community very soon. Right now, we're getting all of our social workers and counselors up to speed on how to do all of the referrals and things in the software. We don't ever get access, just to explain clearly, we don't ever get access to anybody's medical records or anything. All we do is refer the family and then make sure that Care Solace did their job of getting them an appointment. I know that you have all heard about all of the struggles that people are having getting mental health services set up when they're needed. We did a lot of vetting of this company, talked to a lot of other districts that are using it, and they truly will get appointments within 3 to 5 days for people. They are in a huge network, and it will really help our students that need help get that help quickly. The district did issue request for proposals for upgrades needed to our classroom door locks in all 4 buildings and for a new security camera system throughout the district. The RFPs and the bid process are required because these projects will total more than the Michigan bid threshold. On Tuesday, I conducted a mandatory meeting for the door lock upgrades. We had 5 companies attend. Those bids are due by the 17th, and we'll be bringing that purchase to you for approval. Just so you understand what we're doing, almost all of our doors in the district require a key on both sides. So in order for a teacher to secure their room in an emergency, they have to find their keys to be able to lock the door. Some of our classrooms at the middle school even require the teachers to go to the outside of the door to lock it with their key and then pull it shut. That's not safe. So what we are getting is they are going to be modifying our current lock systems with a thumb screw on the inside, just like you kind of have on your home door, that it's locked, unlocked. And it will have an indicator, because the other thing is some of our doors, after you lock the door, if you pull the handle from the inside for fire code, it automatically unlocks it. So it can be hard for a teacher to know, we don't want them to have to remember, well, if it's vertical, it's not locked. If it's horizontal, it's locked. It will actually have a little indicator that says locked when the door is locked. So those bids are due on the 17th, and we will bring that proposal to you, and we're excited to be able to use some of our safety grant dollars to do that. Our camera system has been in need of upgrade, and that was one of the big recommendations from our SEC security consultants. So we have put that out to bid. I know that on Thursday we have interviews with 2 of the recommended bidders. We did hire Barton Mallow Technology to help us through that process, because this is a very large project. It's not something that just our internal tech department could handle. And so we have experts involved in those interviews, really making sure we vet the company. This will be a large expense. We're going to use grant dollars to cover as much of it as possible, but it really is something that we need to do to make sure that we have the proper safety. And a lot of this also comes out of some of the reports that came out after the Oxford incident, talking about their security system and how they could and couldn't use it. So this really does follow a lot of that. The last thing I have, I want to talk a little bit about one more grant. It's the Section 27L. It's part of the State School Aid Act, And right now, Milan is in the process of 11 payments, receiving $85,112.87. But I need everybody to explain exactly, I need everybody to understand exactly what this is for and why we haven't done anything with those dollars yet. So Section 27L of the State School Aid Act states, from the State School Aid Fund money appropriated in Section 11, there is an allocation of $63,800,000 for 23-24 only to districts in an equal amount per pupil. It is the intent of the legislature that districts will use the funds to increase educator compensation. So that's all the State Aid Act says. It gives no guidance beyond that. So the Michigan Department of Ed, when we get our state aid reports, oftentimes gives us notes with them that helps explain certain things. Their last update said, quote, payments for the Section 27L Educator Compensation Program began with a January 2024 payment. Section 27L is an unusual categorical in that it is fully based in formula and pays out at an equal amount per pupil. Similar to other formula-based payments like 22A and 22B, there is no GAN issued and no reporting is required. Since the amount paid is based on pupil membership, the amount you will see on the status reports is based on your January membership, but will be adjusted to actual membership on your last fiscal year 2024 payment in August. So we really won't know how much we're going to get until August of 2024. These funds can be used to offset any increase in educator pay, even if that is the result of a collective bargaining agreement already in place. While this section does not include a definition of educator, we find that Section 27K provides a helpful definition of eligible participant. The 27K, remember that's the student loan one, defines educator as an individual who is working 32 hours or more per week at a district or intermediate school district in a role in which the individual works directly with pre-K to 12 students, including but not limited to educators, counselors, social workers, psychologists, reading specialists, librarians, and school administrators who work directly with students. There's a lot of questions in those two statements I just read. We really are not comfortable doing anything with those dollars until we have clarification on what will our final adjusted allocation be, who qualifies as an educator, because they haven't defined educator yet. They're referring to some other section saying, we think this might be what an educator is. You'll notice they didn't list parapros in there, but on the other one, parapros did qualify. They said, you know, it says including but not limited to. And the other thing is we have to determine how the district wants to distribute these funds, right? How do we want to distribute them? Who do we distribute them to? Is it a one-time payment to the staff that qualify? Like, we've got a lot of questions. And we really can't answer some of those questions because the state hasn't answered those questions. And I will tell you, the part that I read about using the money to basically pay the raises that we already gave, that's MDE. I can tell you the person at MDE that oversees the grants is saying, I don't think I would operate under that assumption yet. That was not the legislator's intent. And I will tell you, that's not my intent. My intent, if we can, is to give some type of one-time bonus payment. We can't do permanent increases to salaries because you heard the law, this is for 23-24 only. So we have to be very cautious. Obviously, I will follow the board's direction, but my thought is not, oh, well, we're just going to say, well, we gave everybody a raise this year, so we'll count that. No, that was not the legislator's intent, and that's not what I think we should do. But we're not ready yet to give the one-time money because there's a lot of questions left. Who's going to get it? And how much money are we going to have to distribute? My thought would be, we've had several times where we've done this with ESSER money and different things, where we kind of figured out percentages going to staff, and then every teacher got a same payment, every parapro got a same payment. We kind of figured out who all qualified, and we figured out how to distribute that money, kind of like we do when we do our negotiations and our raises. So that's kind of where we are on it right now. I know there's a lot of push from some folks to say, why aren't you distributing it? I don't know very many districts that have distributed it. I do know some districts that have already said, well, we're not going to distribute it because we're just going to pay for the raises that we already gave. Again, I don't think that's the right thing to do, but I wanted people to know why we haven't distributed that money yet. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gearbaugh. Any questions? Yeah, Ms. Gutierrez.
Mr. Gearbaugh, maybe I missed it, but is there a timeline by which that money has to be distributed?
Well, my belief is that it should be distributed in this contract year. The state of Michigan would probably say it needs to be distributed during their fiscal year, which goes till October. Our teachers' contracts go till August. Well, both of their August paychecks are this school year. So we're kind of hoping, like we learned very early in August what the dollar amount is, and we can have a process in place and send it out on one of the August paychecks.
That's exactly why I'm asking, because given the conundrum that it seems that we're in with waiting until those counts are final, so we know how much we're getting. I know that you're already on this, but just thinking kind of prospectively forward to be able to react quickly if that is in fact the timeline by which it needs to be spent.
Yep. I think what we will do is Ms. Hendricks and we can actually, once we kind of get some better understanding from the state of Michigan on who qualifies, we can build a spreadsheet that distributes the money using formulas where all we have to do is put our dollar amount at the top and it tells us exactly how much to give every staff member. So our goal would be to have, once we learn the definition and some of that, get that spreadsheet ready. And then the minute we know, we enter that number into the spreadsheet, it gives us the amounts and we kick it out on the next payroll. That's the goal.
Mr. Gearbaugh, can I make a suggestion that we start having these conversations with the unions? Because we can't just make a payment. Even if you are giving a benefit, you could technically be in violation of the statute. So we may need to have some conversations with our union reps about this as well.
Yes, agreed.
Any other questions or comments? All right, on to board member comments.
I can.
Yeah, Ms. Murray.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I have several things, so I'll try to be brief. First, congratulations again to, I wish they were still here, but to the volleyball team and the swim team. Just about every single one of those students were former students of mine, and it just makes me incredibly, incredibly proud to see them representing their district so admirably, and all of their accomplishments. Chiefly their academic accomplishments. It was amazing to me to hear the average GPA of the team, and looking out at the crowd, it's not surprising, but just congratulations again to all the coaches and all of the students. Super, super proud former teacher here. I want to give a thanks and a shout out to the 6th grade team and the middle school administration. They're going to camp today and tomorrow, so they have put a lot of work and time into getting the students to camp, and they've transitioned to a day camp model, which is seemingly going pretty well for the last couple of years, and it's always a great experience for our students, so I just want to thank them publicly for all the time and effort, and then the parents that come out to chaperone too. That's a long couple of days, and but it's really worth it. The students have an awesome time. The Ag Science and CTE, thank you again, it's a reiteration, but I am really, really proud that this district is leaning into keeping those programs cutting edge and finding new ways to engage our students in 21st century learning, and partnering, as you have been, with the ISD too, and our new CTE coordinator over there. I'm just really, really proud and thankful that you're keeping our district on the cutting edge of those things for our students, so thank you again for that. And then I'll close with a semi-personal, but, and I want to thank Mr. Gearbaugh for announcing the middle school play too, that is coming up, and that's the big thing taking place in my household right now. So again, April 19th, 20th, and 21st, and I have some thanks, and I reserve the right to shout these people out again later, and anyone that I forget tonight, but we don't have another meeting until after the show closes, so I want to make sure that I get these things out here. First of all, we've had an amazing amount of support from our area businesses. We have had so many donations being given at so many different levels, but I just want to thank our community in Milan for supporting our students financially. and being so willing to publicize them. You can check out our banner downtown, which is super cool. Thanks SLI for that. I want to specifically mention Dan Douglas, our high school theater manager. He is doing amazing things, not just with the high school, but he is really committed to partnering with our middle school students and bringing them up early and getting them apprenticed to our high school students, learning the more professional equipment here, and the vertical partnership and teaming between him and the middle school staff has been incredible. So I'm grateful for his support. Adeline Wired is a former Milan student, a recent graduate, and she's been our lead costume designer. She's doing incredible things, so I want to thank her. And then specifically Thaddeus and Ashley St. Clair from Ink and Dye. They have many talents, and they've done some amazing costume work as well, so I have to shout them out. And then Carolyn Wetzler, longtime Milan fixture, former Milan teacher. She's helping costumes from Florida, so she's still involved after all this time. So I want to make sure I thank her. And her vision is being, kind of tweaked and carried forward, but this show was shut down in 2020 due to COVID, and so this is kind of a bringing back to life of the original Little Mermaid. And it's been cool because some of the students who were cast in that show in 2020 are now high schoolers, and they are mentoring students who are in that role now, which has been amazing. And then, so that brings me to the students. Obviously, our middle school students are working tirelessly. They're putting in a lot of hours for such young people to be doing. But it's been really amazing to see the mentoring that's happening with all of our high school students. This is the most number of high school students I have seen come to participate and help with the middle school production. We have, on any given night, 8 to 10, sometimes closer to 15 students who are coming and spending their evenings after their other commitments to work with our middle schoolers, to coach them, to help them with character, to plot their choreography. I mean, you name it, they've been doing it. So thank you very, very much to all of those students. The show would not be what it is becoming and what it will be without all of these amazing people. And I skipped over parents. Okay, so very briefly, and I'll thank them again. But yes, in addition to community support, that definitely includes parents. We've had an amazing level of support from them too. So, and Mr. Jamie Gutierrez, lead fundraising person as well. All right, with that, I'm done. Thank you for all the time. I appreciate it.
Your right is reserved to recognize again. So. Other comments?
Mr. Sisler?
Yes, Ms. Gutierrez.
Well, it was further down my list, but given that Ms. Murray started with the play, I will give a shout out to the middle school play. I'm the proud mom of King Triton, so please come and see the play. But absent from Ms. Murray's list was our wonderful staff and Ms. Murray herself, who've put in tireless hours in getting this up and running. So thanks, very, very many thanks to Ms. Jules Murray, Ms. Sarah Murray, Mr. C.J. Brooks, who's helping with the musical side of things. I know that these are all people who our middle school students admire deeply, and having the opportunity for our students to work with these individuals in a light outside of the classroom really means a lot to them, and I'm just really grateful for the time that you guys have all spent. And then our high school students, I mean, every night my King Triton comes home and is really excited about the time that he's spent. He and his friends have been able to spend learning from and getting to know the high school students. I appreciate their mentorship, both within the context of this experience, but also in setting an example for these students with the other work that they have done. Just a few weeks prior, as Mr. Gearbaugh mentioned, we took a group of our middle school students to see the high school play, The Legally Blonde, and it was really fun to hear the middle school students critiquing the performance. You know, I really like how they adapted this character in this way, or they really brought out this from the original. It was just a really thoughtful exercise, and I really am so grateful that among the very many things that our district does really well, many of which we've heard from tonight, that theater is one part of that, and I'm grateful that our district embraces that from all levels, those that Sarah mentioned as well as all the way up. I'd like to also thank the girls swimming and diving and volleyball teams and congratulate them again. Of course, clearly fantastic performances, but I was really proud to see each and every one of them stay here to congratulate each other tonight and just to really be there and be present and support each other. And I think that meant a lot. And it just, was really resonating with me that no one got up to leave early until everyone was finished. And I think it speaks to the teamwork and the idea of teamwork here in this district that I think is really special. And even you, Mr. McMahon, when you were talking, you were giving your kudos and your shout outs of other people who have helped you with some of the work that you've been doing. And I'm just humbled each week to see how collectively those folks in our district really acknowledge kind of the broad efforts that it takes to make this be such an exceptional district. I'd like to thank the Milan Community Reads for my book. I've been holding out because I knew we were getting one, but I'm super eager to read this. And this is a program led by our staff members here in Milan area schools. And so kudos to those folks. Mrs. Elizabeth Miller is one of them, and I'm forgetting the other one. But thank you to those folks who are working on that. I hope everyone had a restful spring break. It seems like a million years ago, even though it wasn't that long. So now the end is in sight to the academic year. And then I just saw come in my email before the meeting to get on people's radars. I know, Mr. Gerbaugh, you mentioned it, but the Milan Middle School will be having a parent information night for new parents to Milan Middle School. So that's not only incoming sixth graders, but incoming fifth graders this year. And so that is going to be on May 9th at 6 p.m. And so as a mom of an incoming sixth grader, that's on my radar, but now we'll have double the number of families. So please make sure that's on your radar. I know the folks over there, Mrs. Bookout and her team, are really excited to introduce the many new families that we will have to the middle school. So very proud night to be a Milan Big Red, and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez. Others?
Mr. Sislo.
Yeah, it's Ms.
Yeah,
Powell.
me over here. I forgot to mention that juniors and seniors, buy your prom tickets now because they go up to $50 on Tuesday, which this is my reminder to buy my prom ticket before Tuesday. And this Friday, the Milan Area Schools 8th graders are taking their trip to Saline High School to check out the SWWC Consortium program, so be sure to look out for me, say hi if you see me. But I am very excited to show our 8th graders what it is that our consortium program has to offer, because it's just amazing to me to just show them all their possibilities within high school alone. So just be very excited for that, 8th graders. And
What's your specific area of study?
I'm in the cosmetology program.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
My last day is on the 6th.
All right. Ms. Pryor.
Yes, I also want to congratulate everybody. It's great to see all the teams doing great work here and having excellent GPAs, which I think is amazing in and of itself. And to see, I was saying to Miss Rosen Leacher next to me, it's so nice to see such a group of strong, powerful women that we are producing out of our school, and that makes me very proud. I also wanted to say I was able to attend the WASB Professional Development Day on March 14th, and we discussed a lot of the things around equal education and accessing classes and different types of things for all of our students. So I was able to sit in some breakout groups to learn about the accountability process for special education. Since I am not a teacher myself, I have been learning a lot about the way that the schools operate and things that are required. So it was a great training. I'll be putting copies of what I received in the baskets of all the board members. And I also wanted to say that I think that us contracting with Care Solace is an excellent program. As Mr. Gerbaugh said, accessing mental health services for our families can be very, very difficult, and a lot of times they don't know where to go. And often families, the only people they have access to besides their own family is the school connection that they have. So being able to reach out to them for some assistance, I think, helps increase our bond with our families and build a trust relationship. So thank you for contracting with that service.
Thank you, Ms. Pryor. Others? Ms. Rosenleacher?
I just want to kind of echo what most have said, and thank you, Mr. Shin, and please pass on our thanks to Mr. Federer for all the hard work. It's exciting to know how quickly you've all made this happen. We talked when I first got on the board about Career Tech Ed, and it's really great to see it come to light and fruition, so really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. No problem. Ms. Heike?
So congratulations to the teams that were here tonight. Those were amazing accomplishments, and agreed to see this huge group of strong, smart women out there doing what they do, and then staying here and supporting one another, which we're not always really good at as women, I thought was amazing to see. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to their coaches that set the tone and what's expected. And most importantly, congratulations to all of them for their GPAs, because at the end of the day, they are student athletes. And so I appreciate that they have not lost sight of that fact as well. I want to also congratulate the softball team. They had wins this week against Lincoln and New Boston Huron. The New Boston Huron win was critical because, it's a Huron League game, and they started off pretty well. So I'm very proud of them. There was a walk-off home run by sophomore Maddie Spencer, and so it was a nail biter. It was a great game. So I'm very proud of all of them, and that is one phenomenal team this year. So I'm excited to see what happens. And that's all I have.
All right. Some of this will be a little repetitive because I just want to make sure some reminders. With the middle school play, it's going to be at the high school. Correct. Right? So just so everybody's aware, again, don't drive to the middle school for the middle school play. Drive to the high school for the middle school play. Yeah, there we go. Also, the book, I do want to thank as well. Also important to shout out that this was also helped by a GMACF grant. So it's always great to acknowledge all the great work that they do for us. In regards to the recognition of our teams, for sure, absolutely. I think the one last group that we need to thank is the parents of those women. There's a lot of support and booster support that go into making those programs work. And I know the coaches are appreciative of those parents that help out. So definitely a big thanks to those parents who help those teams out. We have not mentioned the buddy swim meet yet. Yep, so that's April 22nd at 7 p.m. So make sure, Mr. Gearbaugh just sent out a community reminder in regards to that. So please be sure to attend that buddy swim meet at Monday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. Just a reminder for the board members, there is a WISD budget presentation Thursday, April 18th from 6 to 7. So you should have received an email from that. If not, I can forward it on. Again, I do want to thank Ms. Connie Cox for forwarding us the invitation to the adult ed graduation. And just a reminder that we will be moving the Big Red Board Chat to a date to be determined so that we can attend that graduation. I do want to thank Ms. Pryor for attending the WASB professional development in her absence, so I appreciate you attending that on our behalf. And then we all have finished the board self-assessment with the MASB. So we should be, I need to follow back up with them on how we can get those results. We'll have some type of retreat to go over those results, and we'll schedule that to move forward with that. So I appreciate everybody filling that out. I think with that, I don't have any other business. Any other business questions or comments? All right, the meeting is adjourned at 8:14. Drive home safely.